Hello, friends. In this new monthly series, Agile Doctor Clinic, we are trying to address some of the real issues which our Scrum Masters are facing in their current jobs, where they seek some kind of guidance, advice. And this is our small attempt in order to help large people out there. We understand that every team, every individuals are different. And so it's not necessary that the same thing apply to all. And here we are trying to provide our perspective only. So with this thought, let me welcome all of you. Namaskar. My name is Suran Sharma. I am a consultant based in Den Haag, Netherlands. And before introducing our today's doctor, a small request, friends, if you got any value from this session, please hit like. And because your one like is a great motivation for us, and we love to hear your thoughts. So please do comment and tell us how you will react in similar situation. And in the last, if you are new to our channel, please subscribe for more Scrum Master related interview questions and content. So with this thought, let me introduce today's guest and our doctor friends. If you are a Scrum Master based in Bangalore or Hyderabad, possibility is you might have already seen this face in some Agile webinar or meetup sessions or conference. So he's very well known and respected name in Agile fraternity, and who needs no introduction, friends. And his name is Ravi Bhaskarani. Friends, Ravi is now having close to 26 years of total IT experience, and it's a while now since Ravi is working as an enterprise agile coach. So welcome, Ravi, and it's a great pleasure to have you in this session. Thanks for giving your time, Ravi.
Yeah,
Over to you, Ravi.
yeah. Thanks, man, Sharma. It's a really honor to get connected with you. I think, like you are also doing very excellent things for the community. So we are all part of one community. We are helping each other actually. So my name is Ravi Bhaskarani, and I started working as a program manager over the years, working as Scrum Master, Agile Coach, Enterprise Agile Coach. I've seen the journey of ups and downs. So that's where I just wanted to give back to the community. And Sunand is helping me to, he's giving me one more opportunity to help the community.
Definitely, Ravi. Thanks again for that. Okay, Ravi. So shall we start from
Yes.
today's Q&A? Okay,
Yes,
great.
go ahead.
Okay. Okay, friends. So all these questions we have gathered from different Scrum Masters. We have done one poll, and then we have, we have our Google Forms where people can come and they can ask their different questions. So we try to capture questions which are a little bit different, new, and which is going to affect a lot of other people as well. So that's the idea. And till now I got around close to 75 questions, and in this session we have just captured few of them. So let's see how it going to be. And Ravi, so yeah, here's the first question.
Yeah, thanks.
Ego between the team members. Yeah, it's a very I think it is there every team, irrespective of it's agile or anything. And
Yes.
egos are very common between team members, between friends, between family members and all. So what is your perspective on this, Ravi? How to deal with ego within
Okay,
team
so
members?
I just want to just say initially, like there may be not one size fits all. Like it's maybe variation. Maybe whatever I'm saying is maybe correct, may not correct, but I try to put in my experience and tell you. Like I think ego between team members is actually kind of very common. Whether you're a project manager, like Sunil mentioned, project manager, program manager, agile coach, scrum master, team lead, whatever it is. So I think this is a very tricky situation. And first of all, we need to have understanding of what was the problem, what is happening between the person X and person Y. Right? Maybe just talk to them, coach them, mentor them, train them. How can you be better, right? There may be a problem, maybe because of they are facing some key challenges in the project, right? We need to understand that, or maybe something happening in the personal life. So this can be avoided by by doing the constant communication, coaching, and making everybody part of one entire team. What happens is teams are sometimes work in silos, being disintegrated sometimes. So we need to, as a leader, as a coach, as a manager, you need to have a collaboration between each others. Like any other additions, Sumant, anything you can think of?
Hey, thanks, Ravi. Yeah, so I just want to add maybe just 1 or 2 points. You have covered everything. So what I feel when you are joining any new team, you should draw your boundaries and stick to them. Now, if you are starting any new job, this is an ideal opportunity to figure out what you do and what you don't tolerate when it comes to egos at work. So you should prepare some sort of mental list, what you are willing to ignore and what are the things or the issues which will help you prepare for the reactions if you encounter some ego problem. So I'll just give an example. For example, um, you are a very political person, right? Or let's say you are a very religious person. So tell your people around that you are not comfortable with this kind of conversation, right? Normally it happens that we start talking about political things and this and that. So it's always a challenging situation, and it may hurt, not intentionally but unintentionally. You may hurt feelings and egos of some other people, right? So prepare that, and as long as you are reasonable and fair, you can have that confidence that in whatever the boundaries which you have set for yourself, and then enforce them. And believe me, friend, there is no I in team, right? We always talk about we. So if you even look into this word team, you will find M and E. So, but then rather than having me, you should replace it with we. So there should be always we, and you should remove this word I, me, mine when we talk about team perspective, right? So that's the thing. And the other thing is, as a Scrum Master, as an Agile coach, we should always when we celebrate different successes, right, team success, so always try to give that yeah, I mean, all the individuals contribute in the success of a team, but then I think at the end of the day, if you congratulate your team as a whole, that will definitely take down big egos of few people, but yeah, I mean, parallelly, one-to-one, you can have those kind of conversation with your team members that, okay, you have done a great job, but at the end of the day, they should also understand that's a team effort. Yeah. So I think these are the yeah, small things which you can do. And whenever, let's say, someone hurt your ego, it's always good to tell them. Sometimes people don't know that there is, and you just take it personally, right? So it's always good to I mean, good to go and connect with them one-to-one and let them know that this is the particular thing which hurts you, right? Do that one-to-one conversation. It's very important if someone has crossed their boundaries. And same is applied to you as well. If someone will come to you, first of all, that, okay, let's say someone will come to you, you might also hurt someone's ego, right? So you can also do that. First of all, you should think that in a positive way. Don't think that someone is criticizing you. Take it as a positive that someone will came to you and they are open, they are at least telling you the fact that this is your thing which hurts them. So I think it's a ideal thing that take that as a positive feedback and try not to replicate the same thing with others. So yeah, that's all we can say over here, Ravi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's actually you have quickly summarized very nice. I think we need to build a team of working together, team of self-organizing. I think which is self-organizing team is like very very high statement. It's very difficult to get into that kind of. So never differentiate, never highlight good performer, bad performer, excellent performer. You need to collaborate, work as a team. That will eliminate ego between the team members.
Totally. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So with this thought, can we move on, Ravi, with the
Yes.
second question?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so again, it's yes, most asked question that management think Scrum Master job as a project manager. So I've just taken as it is sentences. I've not done any changes,
Any
friends,
changes? Okay.
on these questions. So as it is
Okay.
questions I'm getting, and I'm just presenting in front of you.
Yes.
So yeah, Ravi,
Yes.
it's again a common thing that management thinking Scrum Master job as a project manager. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, I think there are various. I think this is a kind of a closer to heart thing. Whereas I myself transitioned from project manager to program manager to Scrum Master and all that. And in some of the engagements, what happened was overnight the there was a need from customer side. We no longer need project managers. And then what happened? Some companies they said, oh no, we we have Scrum Masters, we have Agile coaches. And overnight, the nameplates are changed to Agile coach and maybe Scrum Master. So the tendency continued. That is a one thing, right? And people are in that coming from program management background, project management background. They still, they still think that Scrum Master is equal to project manager, which is actually incorrect, right? If they both are same, there is no need of a Scrum Master terminology at all. Again, Scrum Master is a kind of a what do you call it? He is a servant leader, servant as a leader, right? The project manager responsibility entirely different. Project manager maybe looking at the deliveries, tracking where the issues are, where the stories are moving, right? Maybe doing appraisals and all that, right? They may be, yeah, and that is a one side of it. Second thing is because of various regions, maybe if you go to smaller companies, there may be budget constraints. So they may be expecting Scrum Master to do project manager, delivery manager, all in one. Right? I ideally think one person, one role should be there. If you have any comments, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Ravi. Okay.
Yeah, I still have a
So
lot to cover, but I just want to maybe this point we can discuss. I'll start.
yes, let me. Yeah. Okay, great. So, friends, first of all, it's my request to all Scrum Masters. Please read this white paper, The 8 Stances of a Scrum Master by Barry Overeem. This guy is from Netherlands, and this is, I think, 35 pages PDF. It's an excellent resource for any Scrum Master, whether you are beginner or whether you are senior Scrum Master. And why I am telling you this, because in this particular white paper, he has explained about 8 different roles of a Scrum Master. Okay, and one of them is a manager. And there are other 7 roles as well, like he's mentioned about change agent, impediment remover, teacher, mentor, servant leader, and others several roles. Friends, we all misunderstood this term manager, first of all. If you ask me, the simplest definition of manager, which is given in that white paper, is that manager is someone who is just he's someone who is in charge of doing certain group of tasks. That's a manager. And there is a difference between a management and manager. So understand these 2 key terms first of all. So management is an activity and manager is a role. Okay, and management as an activity will always be present within all organization, whether it's a traditional organization or it's agile or any kind of organization. And then there is something called horizontal and vertical management approaches. In agile, normally we have this organization, whatever the management which we are doing, this is come under horizontal thing, and which is different from the vertical approach. So if you are a Scrum Master, it means you're also a manager, because as a manager, Scrum Master manages impediments, various processes, manage team culture, manage different kind of waste, and a lot of things which you as a Scrum Master are managing, friends. So believe me, this is a tremendous resource. Go and check this thing. If you don't have, let me know. I will share with you guys, because this is the most misunderstood term, right? So yeah, I just want to add, Ravi, from my side.
Yeah, thank you. So I think that's a very good point. I think let's go and refer the document Suman mentioned. So that is the one thing I told you, like maybe most of the people are coming from project management to program management, and they expect maybe because of budget constraints they want to do both, like Scrum Master, delivery manager, project manager, which itself an anti-pattern, number one. And also maybe, I think I just told you already, it's like they are renaming project manager to Scrum Master, still expecting the same thing actually. And one of the things what I have noticed people is most of the people they actually say they have very good experience. They have put in like a couple of years of experience, but when you ask them like people haven't read the Scrum Guide. So Scrum Guide is a key pillar for this. It's a 14 pages which you need to go and look at what is the Scrum Master role is. So basically, and also one more thing is the role clarity between Scrum Master and project manager is missing. That's why expectations are different. As you said, right? You already mentioned you need to know what is your role, what is your boundary and target. Scrum Master role, as you mentioned, it's a kind of a impediment remover, right? And then the process owner, right? And also, if there are any issues and concerns which is happening, that needs to be resolved. It's not that the people, when I say implement remover, even there is implement also, they start going and trying to remove it, which is not there, number one. Right? There are some things which team can do by themselves, right? If there is no requirement of Scrum Masters, go and remove that. You don't need to go there because most of the Scrum Masters are working as either Jira administrators or whatever, Jira administrators, task managers, you know, setting the calendar and all that. I keep telling the people that Scrum Master is not a Scrum Mom, Scrum Pop, Scrum Daddy, right? Nothing like that. And don't overload yourself. Find out the problems with the team. Try to see who can do that job better, right? You as a manager, as Scrum Master, you need to have 20-30% of work allocated for you, and remaining things you need to help the team, right? How do you take this team to next level, right? How do you spend your time so that you can easily move on to next project. You need to have a succession plan as always. That's what I try to create, try to tell them. If there are any issues with the PO and team, then maybe whenever it is needed, you need to jump in. It's not like every time I only come morning, I'll come, okay, I'll go and talk to them, try to solve both of the problems. Like, when do you get the time for actual implementation? Like, so that is the thing. So I think I try to cover all the things, maybe summarization, budget constraints there, and then mindset of the management, thinking that, this needs to be done and all, right, and then renaming old ways to new ways. That's what I already covered. So there are a couple of places where program managers actually heading the value chain, all this Scrum, Agile, or whatever transformation. So mindset says that more reports, more that thing. So the expectations are really different, right? And again, I mentioned about role quality. So anything else you want to cover? Anything you would like to add?
I think, yeah, Ravi, for a time it's okay. I think we can move on to the next question, if you allow. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So next question is, okay, how to align with common goals since each of them have personal goals to prove themselves in front of their managers as a great resource. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a very key, very great question. So everybody comes when your teams are forming, right? When you're everybody, let's say everybody's got recruited to other places. Now we are forming a team, and everybody will have their own goals, right? So as a manager, as Scrum Master, what I usually do is uh, try to understand what are the goals of each person, right? Maybe while intake only, identify whether the goals and aspirations are going to match in near term or future term. Maybe may not be in this project, maybe in someone's project, whatever it is. First of all, the role and role goal and role goal fitment, that is essential, but they don't come with the wrong expectations, right? Let's say we are hiring for our entire team is having like developers only, we don't have architect role. But if that person wanted to do architect role, then it may not be, it's not a correct fit. Maybe we need to find out, okay, the team X have that, but they can go there. That is a one way of that thing. And even once they come in, you identify the goals and the match them. Like, I'm a developer, but I want to do testing. Yes, we can do, maybe role switches can be happen, but at different time zones, right? May not be right now, right? So one thing is, so if you have tried all this, all the combinations during intake, you tried, and also you try to see mapping that personal goals with the team goals, whatever it is, try to do that, and still nothing is working out. We need to look at what are the other options we have, right? Maybe you need to go with individual one-to-one interaction with people, and so if team member is going beyond, okay, this is the way that, we need to put a stop to it, right? Then we need to look at what is the next possibilities inside the team or outside the team, right? So that is what will help. So okay, I think yeah, the question wise what you are saying, what if their goal they are showing as a great resource to the manager? I think this should be definitely entry pattern in the kind of agile setup actually. So that definitely need to be avoided by all these parameters, right? So definitely one person is not a bigger than entire team. So whoever that person is, we also need to look at, let's look at the team perspective now, okay, and we can think of individual perspective later, something like that. So any additions, Sunam?
Yeah, so Ravi, you have already covered all the aspect. I just want to convey this small point over here that we should understand organizational goal and then something, let's say my horizontal, my vertical, whatever you call it, my department goal,
Yes.
and then how you are going to contribute in that. So for example, let's say my organization want to have, let's say 20% more profit, right? Let's say they are doing 1 million thing and then they want to increase for 20% in, let's say, next 3 years or 1 year, whatever, right? Now how you are going to break that thing? Okay, what is the contribution of my vertical in that particular 20% thing, right? Okay, let's say we are contributing 1% of their sales or whatever their profits, right? Okay, in out of that 1%, what is my contribution? When I say my contribution in terms of, let's say in one vertical we have multiple teams or multiple different programs or portfolios and everything, right? If we are able to find that thing, that okay, how my contribution as an individual is adding towards the profit or whatever the goal which is set by my horizontals, my verticals for me, then I think it will be easy for any individual to contribute. Then you can say that, yeah, my contribution is, let's say, X%, or this is something which I have achieved. Okay, I have completed, let's say, so many features for my particular project, right? And obviously all these features have some cost or associated with them, right? So yeah, I mean, it sounds little tedious, but then if you have a proper process in place, everyone is contributing towards success of the organization, to success of our customer, right? And if you can find that thing with the help of course, with your seniors, with your managers, with your leaders, that will be, I think, a great, awesome thing. Yeah, I think it's a difficult to achieve, but then yeah, in few organizations they are giving that kind of goal settings, what targets they are looking for, what kind of numbers they are looking for. So I know that in a agile world, numbers are not that good, and we should not judge anyone with the specific set of things. But then in your KPIs, you can mention that, something like that, because if you put numbers, it will easy to look towards it. Again, it's my thought. Maybe you may agree or disagree on that, Ravi.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you need to see what is that you are contributing, where you can add value. Then sometimes you have to take personal thing out of it, not entirely, but we should also align to the goals of that particular project, right? Then maybe you can look out for in the other projects in the same company. whatever.
Yeah, so idea is your goal should align with your organization goal, with your team goal, and
Yeah.
that's how you will flourish,
Correct.
So in that case, you no need to put yourself as an individual, put as a team, that okay, as a team we have achieved this much work, and I think
how can we achieve? Yes. Correct.
yeah. Okay, shall we move, Ravi? I think we have covered
Yes,
this.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, let's move on. Okay, it's a very interesting question. So Scrum Masters are considered junk by everyone, even a fresher don't respect this role, not leadership team. I've been working as a Scrum Master for 5 years for multiple org. The disrespect is same. I sometimes feel even I am the best Scrum Master. I will retire as a Scrum Master with no respect, no career growth, and will earn money to pay my credit cards bill, loan, school fee. I many a time feel ashamed to work as a Scrum Master as I see no growth and no respect. So
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I mean, how many people can correlate with this, Ravi, but then what is your first thought on by reading this question?
Yeah. So I think there's several dimensions to it. Number one is I think there may be, I think as you already mentioned, what is my role, what I am performing, like what is my skill set. I think skill will and other many parameters, right? They have skill to perform. Right? Skill may be, am I people manager, right? Am I people manager? Right? Let's say I'm a technical architect, but I don't like to do project management. Okay, I'm just saying it's SM role or project manager role, whatever it is. If you're not a people person, you are actually a code guy, you are a technology architect guy, somebody who want to do a product kind of thing. So maybe I think the fitment issue is coming in, number one. Okay. Number two is some region, this person's aspirations are not met by, I don't know what may be the reason. So first of all, he has to be coached. So this person needs to be coached. If he is there in the for long term, it's going to impact his team purpose. Because I always see, I will give my best. If I'm a manager is positive, manager is energetic, right? I think you might have seen that area, right? When you go to work, when you go to interact with the people, you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulder, right? You need to know what is the role. You need to be active. You're actually you should be like very positive to make impact on others, right? If you yourself are low, it's very difficult to motivate the team members. Okay? That's what I think, right? So I think I guess to summarize, these are aspirations are not met. So this person need to be coached first, right? And sometimes what happens is, again, you said, I think one of the thing what he mentioned is the goals and personal goals and this the project goals were not matching. That is the one thing, right? And so that is the one thing. So again, one more thing is, let's say his manager's vision and his vision, or maybe somebody's vision is not matching. There may be some disconnect between each others, right? I have few more things. I think I would like to spend more time on this. Right. One thing is, as a Scrum Master or as a manager, what is my first task is earning trust from the team members, trust from everybody. As a Scrum Master, people expect a lot of things from you, right? They 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 have a lot of expectation, and they want to see, like, can this person to be trusted or not. So first of all, you have to gain that trust from the team, right? And you should also make sure that how many blockers are there, how do we need to solve, how do you solve that problems, right? Like as you mentioned earlier, right? So, and you also need to create a psychological safety so that people can come to you. Like Sunand is a Scrum Master. If I'm the team member, if Sunand is actually trying to help me to cooperating with me, or Sunand is looking at my success as his success or team success, that's where I'll approach Sunand, right? So that is what all about, you know. So I think I told about coaching them, and also Scrum Master has to first understand his roles and responsibilities, and also you should need to work on how to build a trust. I think that I'm trying to repeat everything, okay? And he has to create a safety net for the team, and he has to be open enough to the team, right? And I think one thing, I had a conversation with one of the gentlemen. What he said is, what is your first task as a leader, first task as a manager? So what that person gave me answer is like, I was also shocked to listen. He said, I'll go to tea with them. Like, I will go and have coffee with them, or breakfast with them, lunch with them. So there are a lot of problems here. How can meeting personally will help the team, right? What you are trying to do, you go and open up. You are not going there as a manager, or going there as a Scrum Master, whatever. You are going there, and then you can have open conversation. Okay, Mr. Sunand, what is your what problems you are facing? What do you think? How can we solve this? So you need to have that open conversation. So basically, you need to personally involve with them. So I think that is what the Scrum Masters or managers will become great managers, great Scrum Masters. I think I try to spend more time here. I think I see this lot of anti-patterns in the teams.
Yes, Ravi. So my point over here is what happened that first of all, nowadays a lot of people are coming as a Scrum Master, so there is no harm in that. There is a demand and then supply. Yeah. Now what happened? As first of all, you have to introspect yourself whether you are fit for this role or not. Honestly, now a lot of people are thinking it's pretty easy, and then they struggle, honestly. So they do 1 or 2 certification, and then they clear the interviews, but then they struggle on the job. Now they themselves not understand what things Scrum Master should do and what are the things which Scrum Master should not do. That not do part is very difficult, especially which whatever the experience I have seen in our Indian IT industries, right? So there are a lot of things which people are doing which are not part of their job, which is not part of their responsibilities, but still they are doing that. And even sometimes they themselves not know whether that should fall under their purview or not, honestly. Okay, so that's the irony. And the thing is, you should first know that what are the which you are not supposed to do, right? As you already mentioned that the Scrum Master is not just there to conduct the Scrum ceremonies or events, right? That okay, all these 4-5 events, that's it. No, that's not the role of facilitator. Facilitator role is more than that. First of all, understand the meaning of the word facilitator. What does it mean, right? Someone who is unbiased when something event is happening, he can facilitate in terms of lot of things. Okay, so Scrum Master is not just there to facilitate 4-5 your Scrum events. No, that's the most, I would say, not anti-pattern, some misconception in the mind of Scrum Masters.
One thing to add is, you use the right term called unbiased, right? That's very difficult to achieve also, because people tend to bias towards that. I think you need to move away from bias element. I think this is very difficult thing as a new Scrum Master, getting into that. And most of the, I think I coach train folks in India and elsewhere. Most of the questions asked is, okay, Scrum Master, how do you conduct the meeting? How do you take the notes? How do you take the notes of retrospective? How do you send MOI? So I tell them that is not the role of that. First of all, people don't understand the role. I think I don't want to comment on the certifications, but CSM, whatever PSM certifications and all, they are not giving enough GAN. Okay, so I think that's where people even I get a lot of people from non-IT also. They come, they want to quickly run into Scrum Master roles and all. So I think you need to do a lot of research, what can be done, what cannot be done. I think we are going overboard on this, but yes.
And one line I just want to add over here is the respect is not something which you have to earn respect basically, whether it's a Scrum Master or any role, whether you are a developer or whether you are a project manager or any role, right?
Yes.
You have to earn that respect, right? There is no magic pill that we can give you or you can just have and then you will earn the have the respect from your team, right?
You can't
So
buy
you
in
have
the
to
medical store. Yeah. You can't buy in
you
a
have to do
medical store.
introspect. You have to do introspect that what are the things which you are doing wrong. And
Yes, correct.
first of all, you have to accept that there is some issue. If similar thing is happening repeatedly, rather than blaming other people, right? That okay, this team is not good, or this organization is not good, or this leadership is not good, right? Try to find first of all introspect yourself. Okay, is there anything which I am doing wrong? Yeah, find that thing. And if the answer is yes, please work on that. Yeah. One more interesting thing which you can do, try to see someone within your same, maybe your colleague or maybe someone senior. If you feel that, okay, that guy is gaining respect, right? That's the easiest thing which you can, which you can do, right? Just look in towards that guy that, okay, what he or she is doing, why people are approaching to them, why they're not coming to me, right? Why those people are more popular, what are their one or two traits which I can also maybe not 100% but maybe let's say 20% 30% I can replicate that, right? See, we learn from our peers, we learn from each other, we learn from our organization, right? So maybe you are stuck in some sort of organizations which are not, see, I agree that there is no organization which are doing 100% agile, but still there are a lot of mature organization, right? Maybe you are stuck with the organizations which are not that great, of while of doing agile, right? They might be saying that okay, we are doing agile, but maybe we know that is not true, right? So maybe you're stuck in that wrong organization itself, right?
Yeah.
I agree on that part as well. But before pointing finger to anyone, I would say introspect yourself, see what are the things which you feel you are doing great, not great, work towards those shortcomings, and I think you will be do a great job over the period of time. So yeah, that's my take on that, Ravi.
Yeah, one more thing is, I think I already touched upon this point, and again, is he a people person? What he wants to do? What is your aims and all? You need to align with that, before even joining this kind of thing. Like, look at, am I going to be, successful here or not? All that, like, if you don't, if you're not a people person, it's very difficult to get into Scrum Master. You also need to do multiple coordinations. Like, Scrum Master is not only just a facilitator, implement remover, he also team coach, right? Like, can I coach something on the product side? Can I coach something on the technical side? Can I do like, can I tell the team like how to do? Maybe Jira, it's not mandatory. Maybe Jira, or maybe, how do you do the story mapping? How do you do a lot of other? Can you teach them, right? You gain respect by helping them, teaching them, mentoring them. It's like, I think I can go on and on. It's kind of one of my closer to heart.
That's perfectly okay, Ravi. You can explain whatever you
Go
want.
ahead,
So
go ahead, yeah.
yeah. So the thing is, you should understand like what is your nature first of all. Whether you're an introvert guy, whether see Scrum Master role is 99.99% you are doing just communication, nothing else. You are communicating on email. You are doing one-to-one communication. You are communicating with different stakeholders within team, outside team, within organization. Lot of things. You are just doing communication. That's it. So ask first of all yourself whether you are good in that. Yeah. And if you say that, yeah, I'm good in that, then only please come to this field or this particular role, right? That's okay. I mean, it's not a mandatory that you have to jump and do this role as a Scrum Master, because there are a lot of opportunities, right? Opportunities are everywhere. It's just like you have to just wait for that right set of opportunities, right? So ask yourself, what is your personality? Whether you are someone who will, as you mentioned, right, that you are someone who is people person who will go out and talk to them, be very open, transparent, vocal enough. You have to be vocal. You have to be full of confidence, right? If you yourself is not that much confidence, right, to go and take your challenges, problem of your team to the senior management and all, you will not be able to survive, right? People will come to you one or two times, and if you are not able to fulfill those particular commitments, if you have done some commitment to your team members or any individuals, right, if they will not see any value from you as a Scrum Master, right? They will not going to come back to you in a second time. They will go to someone else, right? So that's what I'm keep on telling. Look towards your personality traits, whatever the commitment which you are doing for your team, stick to that. At least give them some sort of updates. Let's say there are a lot of action items, right, in a retrospective, which is not in even your hand and my hand, right? As a team, there is someone else. Let's say some management has to take some decisions, right? Be very transparent that, okay, whatever you have done so far, what is the update, right? Talk to your senior management that this thing is not resolving, right? Take their feedbacks, make them understand that, okay, my team is crying for this thing from so long time, right? So that transparency should be there. People should value that, okay, you are there for them. Okay, you are adding some value to the team, right? That's what I think is missing in a lot of times. This is what I have seen, Ravi. Yeah.
Yeah, one more thing is, no, I think I already mentioned, Scrum Master gets overloaded because of the role clarity mismatch, right? They tend to do, okay, I need to do Jira updates, I need to do this, I need to do that. But that is not his role, maybe his or her role. Try to find out who can do the best thing, who can do, like, maybe if team is not able to do that, help them to understand. Let the team do most of it, right? Wherever your skills are needed, that time you can go and work on that. I think Scrum Master usually try to overload with a lot of things. That's what I have seen. The new Scrum Masters, they get worried, stay overnight, thinking that Jira is not updated. So basically, you also need to have that project management skills, finding out who can do best, who can do Jira update, who can do reporting, who can do task management, who can do the coordinations and all, right? You also need to delegate things, right? Even though it's not part of yours, right?
Yeah, Ravi, I think, yeah, we have spent a
We
lot
are
of
we
time
are
on
actually
this.
beaten with it.
Yeah, okay, let's try to move on to the next question. Okay, friends. So this conversation is going in some other direction. We are running short of time, but then I'm really enjoying this conversation, Ravi. If maybe we are not able to finish everything in this session, maybe we'll plan one more session in future, Ravi. Okay, let's try to quickly at least cover question number 5. Okay. So I've been allocated to a new project where initial few sprints are going to be 3-week sprint. I am finding it a bit difficult to how to plan the ceremonies as this is the first time I am working in a 3-week sprint model. Yeah, Ravi, I think this will be a pretty straightforward for you, Ravi.
Straightforward one. Yeah. So I think maybe again, coaching, somebody need to coach this guy how to do that, right? So let me read it. I have been allocated a new project where initial few sprints are going to be 3 weeks sprint. I'm finding it a bit difficult as how to plan the ceremonies as this is my first time I'm working on the 3 week sprint model. So like, can you elaborate maybe if you want to?
Okay, so what I understood, maybe like this guy is a Scrum Master and he's doing that from maybe for a 2-week sprint. And now I think he joined some new project where sprint duration is just increased to 2 to 3 weeks, right? I mean, we can have a 1 week to 4 week duration in a sprint, right? So I think that's the reason he's maybe finding it a little odd how to maybe the timings of different Scrum events or maybe when to do what.
Okay.
Something
Yeah.
like that, I think. Yeah.
So I think we need to map 2 weeks to 3 weeks. That is one thing. Let's say starting week will be any of same, right? Ending review, retro, and all other things may fall in third Friday. If I'm just thinking of just starting from Monday to, if I'm starting from Monday, then it will fall on third Friday on the sprint review and retrospective. Okay, that is the one thing. I think it's a more of a team activity, right? Team would already know like when to conduct what ceremonies. Daily stand-up is anyhow it is there, right? And review retrospective we can now update, right? And maybe pre-sprint planning or backlog refinement can be allotted maybe 10% of the entire sprint duration, right? So that is based on old Scrum guide. Now you can take up whatever it is required by whatever the team needs it. So I don't think I can add anything other than this.
Yeah, I mean, so if you ask me honestly, I just have very small hack, maybe. So I will not do anything honestly. If let's say I know that in the past, let's say I've worked with 2 weeks sprint, right? I will just think that, okay, I will just introduce one additional week in between first week and the
Correct.
third week.
Correct.
That's it. Nothing else. You don't have to do anything fancy over here.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Everything will be same as it is. You don't have to think about anything else. If you wish, you can add one refinement session in your second week. That's it.
Yes.
Nothing else. Everything else will be pretty same, right?
I think just to add, because they have more time. Maybe you can have.
Again, I would say, yeah, I mean, time is again something which you can consider, but I would say honestly, there won't be any substantial difference, right? Maybe a 2 hour, then maybe you can make it a 3 hour, but I don't think it's reasonable enough. It's written that, but in practical scenarios, I don't find it honestly like 2 hours. People will not going to sit after 2 hours, right? Or 3 hours, right? It's very difficult.
One more thing is, I think as time extends, even the delivery delay also sometimes what happens is, okay, instead of 2 weeks, okay, I need to push it faster. So maybe people tend to take first week as a lazy week, right? With no work, again they start working on second week, third week.
Yes.
I think there may be a strong region of moving from 2 weeks to 3 weeks. I think that may not be the discussion content here.
So yes, you already mentioned rightly, Ravi, that only thing which you need to look towards or monitor is that how team is taking this particular duration. Let's say the people are used to work in a 2 weeks sprint, and suddenly they will move to the third week. So they will take few things, yeah, as you mentioned, right, a little lightly. But then I don't think that's the case, whether it's a 2 week or 3 week. And because our work and whatever the user stories which we pulled is going to be accordingly, right? So everything will be same there. I don't find there will be any challenge. The only challenge is you have to be a little bit cautious, especially in the beginning, that how your team is adapting towards this 3 week sprint thing. That's the only thing I think you should worry about. Nothing else.
So we need to educate them also. Maybe moving from 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like little change actually.
And I think it's a new project, so I think there won't be any challenges and such. So go with the flow. See couple of sprints how things are working for you, and then obviously in the retrospective you can do certain brainstorming. If you things are not working fine, maybe team will that, okay, we require more time in the planning session or whatever, right? You can always increase and decrease that based on the feedback of all the team members, right? So I think, yeah, we will not going to spend much time on this, Ravi. I think let's move on, try to cover at least one more question. Yeah. And yeah, okay. I know you are running out of time, but let's try to take this. And yeah, okay, too many expectations from Scrum Master. Yes, people will think that Scrum Master is a Superman. He or she can do anything. What is your take, Ravi, on this?
Yeah, I think we have covered this bits and pieces. So
yes.
We need to have a, we used to have some mapping with what is my role, what is my responsibility. Kind of, we call it as a RACI matrix, like responsibility, accountability, and conformance and informative. Right? Who is responsible for this thing? For example, product backlog, right? Product. Who is responsible for delivery? That's a team, right? Team is a responsible thing, right? Team is actually doing testing, development, coding, and everything, right? What is again the role of Scrum Master is like implement remover. We already talked about process owner, or maybe some blockers are coming. How do you improve? How do you help the team to achieve the sprint goals? All that. Is there any issues between PO and team that needs to be done? Maybe there is issues coming from management side. Can he able to help that? That's why. So I think again the RACI matrix will help. I think responsibility, accountability like product owner is accountable for product owner. Accountability coming from the product owner side. He is also responsible, right? And confirm, maybe I have a design change, right? For design change, maybe technical architect has to confirm, right? And sometimes I need to inform all my stakeholders, right? If we map this, right, this maybe we used to use this word, the tool, which was helping us to have a role clarity. Yeah. So that's what. And also, yeah, as you said, boundaries, right? What is a boundary of you? What is a boundary of them, right? And let's say all the tasks are coming to Scrum Master because of PO is not available, team is not capable, for example. Then as a Scrum Master, it is a role to create maybe create more roles, create people who can take up all these challenges. So as I said, maybe initial couple of sprints, maybe or 2 to 3 sprints, it's a challenge. Then I think I told you again, you need to identify who can do that. Sunan Sharma is very good at communication, very good at product sales, the technology way. Leverage his skill set. Try to take his help. Find out somebody else who can do this kind of task, right? Then slowly hand over all things and look at, now we have done this. How can we improve that? Do you have CI/CD is there, DevOps implement is there, the automation testing is there, right? One of the thing I think, if it is the last question, I just want to cover more of it, right? And work on most of the teams works are silos, right? You need to make them as one combined team, right? And work on pair programming, mob programming, use latest techniques like code analysis tools, code coverage tools, uh, use the code smells. Look at how do you improve the quality in terms of development, in terms of testing, in terms of everything, rather than focusing too much on metrics, too much of velocity, too much of burn on chart, burn up chart, right? Focus on what value I'm building. I tell most of my Scrum Masters, focus on the product backlog, healthy product backlog. You need to spend as much time in the product backlog as delivery. So you need to spend more time on the discovery stage than the, okay, I can say than, maybe it's not than, under the combination. You have to spend more time on the discovery so that whatever junk, whatever things which is not required, it should not even come to the print backlog, right? Basically, if the junk is coming here, let's say you have 4 stories which we are working for a week. I just say in Indian terminology, for example, average each person takes 1 lakh rupees, right? For example, right? Then into 10 people, you are actually spending 10 lakh rupees INR worth of money on the items which are not going to be useful by the customer, right? So you need to spend a lot of time on the discovery side, work on various new techniques, find out how can you get a greater value to your customer. I know I'm trying to combine the your question with my message.
That's perfectly okay, Ravi. And yeah, I too agree with you. The only thing I want to add over here is sometimes we as a Scrum Master forget to say no.
Yes.
I've seen this many times, friends, and believe me, your life will be simple. Others people's life will be simple if you learn this word no. You should know that when you have to use this. You cannot just say yes to each and everything. If someone is coming for any sort of help, right? You should tell them that, okay, maybe I'm not the right person, or maybe if someone is coming, let's say they don't know how to rectify their laptop, for example. I'm just giving one random example. Educate them that, okay, you can go to this way, that way, this is the email ID or whatever, this is their chat support number, this and that. Educate them. Yeah, that's your job. Your job is not that, okay, you will take that thing and you will write an email for them and then you will follow up with them and this and that. Please do not do that. You are creating that kind of dependencies on yourself, which is not your again, everything came back to the same thing. What is your role and responsibilities? What is, even sometimes Rasi is there, I have seen that, okay, a lot of things are written in that this is come under my purview or not. But when actual thing will happen, some issue will come, right? People comes towards you for whatever reason, they looks towards you, that okay, this guy is there to help me, right? And that's, I mean, it's okay. But then you have to also educate them, that you have to set their expectations in the beginning itself, that okay, it is coming under my purview or not. And tell them very politely. When I say no, it doesn't mean okay, if someone is coming to you, you say just no. No,
Yeah.
tell no with some good reason, that okay, I'm busy. Let's say your project manager is telling you that okay, you do this work on weekend. Tell them politely that okay, sorry, no, I cannot do that, I have some other plans. But provide some alternative, that okay, I can stay on, let's say, on Friday evening, or I can come Monday morning early and I will do this work for you, you know. But Saturday Sunday is my own space, my family time. I will not going to do this on Saturday Sundays, right? Sometimes you have to set that expectation. Please do not call me after office hours. I'm available from 9 to 6. Yeah, you are my manager or you are my team member, that's perfectly okay. But after 6 o'clock, I will not going to pick any official call. You are my friend, that's okay. You can call me anytime in night as well if you need of anything. Do not call me for office related work. Do not tell me at 9 o'clock that can you do this immediately? Can you send me that email? Sky will not fall. And even if it falls, that's okay. Let the sky will fall. Okay. I'm telling you honestly, guys. And that's come with this, whatever the culture which we have across our teams, right? And that's where the things will differ. I've seen both the worlds. I was in India as well, and now I'm in Netherlands. You cannot call any person after 6 o'clock. It's a crime over here. You cannot do that. You cannot ask anyone to do work on Saturday, Sundays. I mean, exceptions are always there, but I'm just telling you the general trend over here, right?
Yes.
Start
Uh,
saying this word no if
yeah.
you really want to set this expectation thing, Ravi.
Yeah. I think I remember one book. I forgot the author, Dale Carnegie. I think. Don't say yes when you want to say no. Right. That is one thing. And one of the thing what people usually say, like they say one of the difficult thing from Indians perspective, right? Saying no. It's very difficult to say no. Then it's like it's actually not no, but they say yes for everything. No, saying no is a very difficult thing, and they say yes, but yes is not 100% yes. Maybe can be all that things, right? So that's why. So I think that's a very good statement you have made.
Okay, Ravi. So we have a lot of other questions, but then we are running out of time. It's already an hour now, and
Oh,
I think we will have one more session with you in future, maybe, where we are going to cover. And this is going to be a monthly session, maybe, Ravi.
okay,
So
okay.
maybe once in a month we will connect with you and can
Yeah,
have this kind of conversation.
yeah.
So yeah, I think guys, I hope you might have learned something from this conversation, and I'm hoping to continue this session in future as well with Ravi and with multiple other agile coaches in future as well. So if you have any sort of queries, doubts, clarification required, please do comment, and I will also tag that Excel sheet. You can always put your details in that, and we will definitely going to pick up your queries if you feel so. So with this thought, Ravi, thanks again one more time for your valuable
Yeah.
time and whatever
Thank.
the information you have shared with us.
Yeah.
So with this thought, friends, bye. See you in next session. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe
Okay.
to this channel, Career
Thanks,
Stuck
Anand.
friends.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks
Thanks
everyone.
for giving me
Bye.
opportunity. Thank you.